Hello, Karin. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, okay. I'm so happy and proud to have you here on the Ego Evolution, Karin. I really appreciate it. And I know you have so much to share for the audience because, in my opinion, you are absolutely one of the top life spiders who utilize your ego and how you are using it. So you have so much to share. And you who haven't met Karin before, I will say she is in Sweden, and she is a really exciting person with an amazing success in everything she touch. So she is a multi-awarded coach for 2 years in a row, I think, and she is an international hypnotherapist. Hypnotherapist.
Yeah, therapist,
Yeah,
yes.
and she have more than 3,000 clients in 25 different countries. It's really impressive. And she also just recently published her book, this mind hacking for rebels, or for those who wants to be one. And the book is coming out in English in the near future as well. So this is Karin, and I will let her do the most of the talking. And my first question for you, Karin, is what kind of opinion do you have about the ego? It would be really interesting to hear.
Yeah.
So,
Um, I know that a lot of spiritual teaching is talking about ego as it's a bad thing and something you should kind of move away from.
okay.
But for me, it's like, hey, you are a human, so you're going to have an ego. I don't know, maybe you can get rid of your ego if you sit on the top of the Himalayas for 30 years and meditate. But
Yeah.
as normal human beings down
Uh-huh.
here in society, we all we have an ego. So for
Yeah.
me, it's instead of bashing the ego, it's for me to use the ego in the right way. So
Mm-hmm.
I like to think about the ego as the fuel. So you know when you
Mm-hmm.
put gas in the car, that's the
Yeah.
fuel, and you can drive to nice places, you can go vacation, you can drive your friends. So you use the fuel or the gas in a good way, but you can also use the gas to burn down a house.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yes, you're
so
right.
the ego itself is not a bad thing, but you have to be aware of how you use it. And
Okay.
the second thing is that we are talking a lot about self-love. And in
Mm-hmm.
order to love ourselves, we have to accept all our aspects, even our shadow sides. So
Mm-hmm.
that means for me that I also have to kind of love my ego as well.
Mm-hmm.
I can't um, I can't say that the ego is only bad, and because that will be a part of me that I then will not accept,
Exactly.
and that will stop me from loving and accepting myself even more. So that's
Yeah.
how I look at the ego. So ego for me is the human fuel to let the soul expand and do good in the world.
It's beautiful said. And I just want to ask you, Lady, you mentioned, do you really think that the ego is the shadow side, or is that an assumption we have?
I think it's an assumption that we have
Yeah.
because it's like with lot of different aspects of a self, we put them in two categories, good or bad. So
Mm-hmm.
being nice is good, being angry is bad or something.
Yeah.
So I tend to say that we have a lot of aspects of ourselves, but we can be aware of how we use them and
Mm-hmm.
when we use them. That is more important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just am thinking maybe it's too big of a question, but why do you think it is that the spiritual world it's denying ego or try to suppress the ego? Do you have any thoughts about it?
Um, Maybe it is because they think about ego in a negative way, that the ego is fearful and judging and a lot of these negative qualities. So that's why you should edit it out. But if you see the ego as the human aspect and that you can use it for good as well, I think then you don't have to think about the ego as that bad.
No, of course, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
And so then I wonder, because you are one of the earliest live spiders, so you are the one who really professional are using your spider.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to listen to you how you are using your live spider and how it had helped you and how you are using. I will dive deeper into your specific ego parts a little later, but just in general.
Yes, absolutely. So for me, the live spider system, it's a compass. It's a GPS or a map where I want to go in life. So the live spider, it allows me to identify and explore different aspects of myself. And for me, that is super important, because life would be very boring if I only was allowed to play on one guitar string.
Yeah.
With the live spider, I have come in contact with 6 very strong and important aspects and driving forces in myself. And when I let these aspects of me go out in the world and play and do good and express themselves, that is like playing on many guitar strings at the same time. And that creates a beautiful melody.
Yeah.
So my driving forces in my life spider helps me to fulfill my soul's purpose. And that makes me feel fulfilled. And it's the compass and the map, so I don't get lost on the way.
Yeah. And you probably will let us know a little bit more practical how you are using your spider in your professional work as well. I mean, so it's not just an inner work, but it's really just concrete. It's hands-on how you were using it. Yeah. So now I think we all are curious to dive into your driving forces, and you are the one who you want to speak about your legend, the prophet, and to be different. That's 3 of your strongest driving forces right now. Yes. So I think I leave the stage for you to let us know how you're working with them.
Okay, so one of my driving forces is the legend. Yeah. And when I started with the live spider, we have like 6 different legs or aspects of ourselves that we can express in different ways. Yeah. And these driving forces, some people are activating several of these driving forces at the same time. So they use 2 or 3 or 4 at the same time, maybe. Yeah. Or I noticed that some were jumping from one driving force to another and just like made a little blend of it.
Yeah.
For me, it was only one driving force, one spider leg that was activated, and it was the legend. And even though I try sometimes to move away from that aspect or that spider leg, I was right back to that leg again and again and again. Yeah. And I've been working on that leg for 10 years, one aspect of myself. And sometimes that has been really, really tough. And sometimes I've been very tired of it. And I've been like, no, I want to move on. But no, I got back to the leg again and again. And today I totally understand why. Yeah. And it's because my driving force is to be a legend.
Yeah. And also here in this spider leg, you have your profession, I guess, as a hypnotherapist.
Yes.
So what's your intention if it just connects? So what have you been doing or working during 10 years in the same leg, Karin?
Yeah, I know. Well, it's like this. For 10 years, my driving force is to be a legend. And my intention for my soul is to eliminate bad guys. I mean, blockages that clients have that is not working for them anymore, things that are in their way for their own potential and their happiness. So in order to be a legend, you have to be relentless.
Yes.
And you have to be extremely focused. And you have to kind of work on just one thing and put everything else on the side. So today I understand why I've been in that leg and working with that aspect of myself for 10 years, because that's what it takes to become a legend. And the legend is a foundation to stand on. And today, when I'm working in over 25 countries and I've been winning a lot of awards, it's because I am a master of what I do. And I had to really commit to doing that. So all the other aspects in the spider has been on hold or in the shadow for 10 years, because to be a legend, it demands your full focus.
Yeah. Could it also be like, it's thanks to that you have a driving force, you have an ego that wants to become be a legend, that you have had the patient and you have not giving up, you have sticked to your mission to eliminate the bad guys, and so you actually have been
Absolutely, because there have been so many times where I have been tired, exhausted, bored out of my mind, and like, no, I'm giving up. I don't want to do this. But that driving force of my ego to become a legend had absolutely made me who I am today.
Yeah. Okay, so now when the legend and that spider leg maybe can go to rest a little bit, so what else is happening now? What other aspects or spider legs is opening up, and exciting projects that's going on, Karin?
Yes, I mean, it's really exciting because suddenly when I felt that the legend is happy, other driving forces are starting to pop up and wants to be on the stage. So, and it's a little bit funny because all my driving forces are aspects of myself, almost like a character. So my first driving force that has been activated now for a little while is the prophet.
Oh, the prophet. Yeah, good.
Yeah, and the prophet likes to sit on a cushion and giving away small nuggets of wisdom to other people to educate. And the intention for the soul is to raise the vibration on earth. So my soul wants to create more conscious human beings that are wiser, more true to themselves, more authentic, and more loving, because that's how we create a wonderful world, a wonderful earth to be on. So so the prophet is starting to show up, that I'm starting to be more visible, because for 10 years I didn't want to really engage that much on social media. I don't want to make small videos and talk about things, but now I'm ready, and now I feel like now I want to talk about my experiences, my thoughts, and hopefully give away small nuggets of wisdom to people so they can continue to grow.
Okay, so I just your book you have, that's something that your prophet like.
Yes. So the book, and that's why I decided to do the book in English as well, to translate it, because the prophet wants more people to read it and to get some wisdom for it. And I'm also starting to, in a couple of weeks or so, starting to do small videos on Instagram, just with small golden nuggets of wisdom. Yeah.
It's such a beautiful way to describe how useful the ego is when you have to do things and you maybe have some kind of resistor for it. But if you activate the right driving force, the prophet, in your case, the prophet is there and make you do it, because the ego wants to have, I want to be a prophet. So that force is so strong when it comes to action. So it's it's really great to see it. So what about this to be different? What about that driving force? Let us know. We love different people here.
Yeah, that is a very funny driving force, because it's a combination between the Joker from Batman and an old lady with pearls and a cigarette holder. And when I connected to my that aspect for the first time, it was the old lady. And she was standing there with her pearls and her cigarette holder. And she said that, well, everyone wants to be unique, but nobody wants to be different.
That's
So
amazing.
it's like we want to be unique, but we are very afraid of being different. What should the world and people think about us?
Yeah.
But if you want to be unique, you often have to be different. So my driving force is that I want to live a different life. I don't want to live a normal life. That's not for me. I want to dance with life, which is the intention of my soul, to dance with life.
Oh, I
So
get goosebumps.
yeah, I know. So in order to dance with life, I have to be different. So I have to make different choices than other people. And I have to look at things in a different way to choose different things in order to dance with life. And this old lady, she often says that she prefers not to be called different, but to be called eccentric.
Oh, eccentric. That's even
Yeah,
more.
that's
I
even
like.
more. So I'm
Yeah.
a little bit like the ego can't decide, do I want to be different or do I want to be eccentric? Maybe I get eccentric when I'm getting older.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also with the Joker is that the Joker in the Batman, he's often misunderstood.
Yeah.
You just see the evil side of him, but he's misunderstood. He's a really sensitive soul, deep, deep, deep down before he was damaged.
Yeah.
So he's also different, and people don't understand him. So being
Yes.
different can also be very scary,
Yeah.
because people see you and they don't understand you. So it takes a lot of courage to be different, and that's something I've been working on for a couple of years, to be more brave and be more courageous and daring to be different in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good that you are saying that, because that's the thing that people are struggling with, because we are
Yeah.
trying to fit into the box. And
Yeah.
when we are talking about the ego, we are so into our mind, it's the ego. We are like a joker. If we are showing, we will be judged as a bad person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So, so for me, my project there is traveling. So I love to travel.
Yeah.
And last year I traveled like 10 or 12 times. And this year it's a little bit different due to the virus.
Yeah.
But I still want to travel a lot, because then I see new places. I meet different people and mysteries and everything. And in order to do that, I have to make different choices in life, so I can free some time and some resources to travel.
Yeah.
And
And
also
that's what
travel
you,
through life, right?
of course, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, all a different kind of traveling.
Yes.
Absolutely. And that's what your driving forces is helping you to get this courage and energy. And because when you have clicked in your driving force, you know it's right. Is that
Yes.
how you would describe it? So you don't really care as much what other people think or
No.
say when you know it's right for yourself.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's form of a click. Like you feel that this is right. This is in line with my driving force from my ego. It's in line with my soul, what I want to do, and the project lights me up. So it's a feeling within that, yeah, this is the right thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when that's happening, people start doing what they are meant to do.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, and it will create some chaos in the society when people realize I want to do this and that, because then you are walking in the direction of your own intentions.
Yes.
And your driving forces are there picking up more stuff and make sure you survive in this practical world.
Yeah.
Okay, this has been so interesting talking to you, Karin. So do you have anything you would like to say to the audience now who still haven't discovered their ego and they feel, I mean, even a little bit uncomfortable? And you know what kind of feelings that can be coming up to the surface when you start to getting to know their ego? Do you have any?
I just want them
The
to,
prophet maybe can
yeah,
tell
the
us.
prophet, yeah.
Yeah.
The prophet says that use the ego as a fuel to take your soul where it wants to go.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And get yourself a life spider.
Yeah, of course, if we could make it happen like that, we would, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope you will stay with us during the whole ego evolution. And you people out there, if you have any specific questions for Karin, or you want to tell something to her, please write it down in the comment, and I'm sure she will show up and give you her prophet. Just let her know, okay, we want to hear, what are your prophets saying about this? And I promise you, you will get really great answers.
Yes, I promise to be there in the forum, and I promise to answer the questions if they have any.
Yeah, sounds
or
really
the
good.
prophet.
Of course. Okay,
Yes.
thank you for being here, Karin.
Thank you so much.
Around and do our spider things even in the future.
Yes.
So thank you, and thank you everybody who is
Bye-bye.
here listening, and keep on checking in. So see you soon again with something else. Yes, bye bye.